come to about a half-hour yin. And it's nicer to do yin for a bit longer than that, but we're just dipping our toes into recorded yin here. You will need a blanket, and it does not have to be a thick yoga blanket. It can be a big bath towel, it can be just a blanket from the bed or something like that. And what I want you to do with the blanket is, it needs to be, just a little under 1 meter in length, and roll it up so you make a long, very tight sausage, and then put that blanket down the back end of your mat. You will also, if you have a bolster at home, need a bolster, and if you don't have a bolster at home, just grab a pillow off your bed. It's a perfect alternative. So the blanket roll is down the middle of your mat behind you. You will come down and hug it in to the low back. And when you take a lie down, I want the roll to go down the whole length of your spine. The head is on top of it, but your bum is on the ground. There's a bit of readjusting to do to make it feel comfortable for the low back. And you can choose soles of feet to the mat like this with the knees dropping inwards. Some of you might like soles of feet together, knees out. Others might like just legs long down the mat. I prefer my legs long down the mat. And with your arms just out to the side, I need the back of your hands and your forearms to rest to the ground. You might like T-shape, you might like cactus, not up overhead behind you though, please, a bit more neutral through the chest here. I like to lie down almost in a starfish shape, and then close down the eyes when you're here. Make any last adjustments, shift and shuffle as you need. And then relax. There's nothing to do here. Shape by shape, you organize the structure of your body so the tissues can begin to soften and release around the structure. It is your practice of stillness. Is your practice of patience. It is an opportunity to just come home to your body, to your vessel. To familiarize yourself with how it is feeling, how you are feeling. Creating space on a physical sense, we enable space emotionally, psychologically. It's the refilling of the cup so we don't overflow. Slow down your breath. In and out through the nose if that is available to you. Deep into the belly. Across the chest. Let your arms be heavy. Either your feet, your knees, or your legs be heavy depending on their shape. Take another couple of breaths here. Periods during this video that I'm quiet. Know that I'm still here. I'll let you know when it's time to shift and time to move from the shapes. But practice behind closed eyes. There's really nothing to see. But everything for you to experience in your own body. Final 2 breaths. In any other shape, just take a bend in your knees, take the soles of the feet to the mat. Arms can go down by your side. Roll your way off to your side, off your blanket roll, and then press on up to a seat. Take the soles of your feet together, your knees wide, but have a pretty wide diamond shape, so I don't want your heels too close to your groin. And then take your hands and just hold onto your ankles, wrap them around for a moment, sit really tall. You can close your eyes, please. And drop the shoulders away from the ears. Take a breath in, sit taller through the crown. As you breathe out, tension can drip away from the jaw. Take another breath in. Use your exhale to begin to fold forward. I like to take my hands and slip them underneath my low leg. Personally, I prefer back of hands to mat, palms facing up, but if you prefer palms down, it's okay. I think palms down is a little more grounding and palms up a little more receiving. So just notice what feels good. And let your head be heavy here. If you cannot thread your arms under your legs, it's absolutely fine. Just rest them over the top or anywhere that feels appropriate for you. Notice how broad you've become across the back of the shoulders, the space there. And focus your breath towards the back of your rib cage and a little into the sides. With every breath in, there is this filling up, this sense of expansion. With every breath out, shrinking back and away. Try and allow the breath to become even. Matching inhale with exhale. If you struggle with that, you can place a count to your breath. For yin, I like a 5 or maybe even a 6. If there's any unnecessary tension in your body, try and soften that. Let each of these shapes be a full body experience. Noticing the texture and the temperature of the mat or the ground underneath your hands. If your palms down, the feel of it through the fingertips, and if your palms up, you'll feel something in your hands, the weight of your awareness, the weight of your day. We feel like we can only feel when we're touching something. But when there's nothing in the hands, they're still alive, alert.
about 4 more breaths here. Maybe the head can grow heavier for the last 2 breaths. The base of your exhale, draw the low belly in to find tone to support the back. Then use your next inhale to untangle the arms to raise up. Keep your eyes closed and once more wrap your hands around the ankles and sit tall. Let the shoulders drop from the ears. Open the eyes. Shift your blanket off the mat from behind you. Keep your left leg forward and swing your right leg all the way around behind you. In Yin we call this sleeping swan, but you might know it better as pigeon pose. So your left knee wants to be wider than your hip. Your toes come to the right side of the mat. It's okay for the heel to be pretty close in towards the groin. So grabbing onto your pillow or your bolster, and you can choose here, there's loads of options. You can take it in front of you so you can rest your belly, your cheek, your chest onto the pillow or onto your bolster. If this is really strong for you and you need some more support, particularly if your knee's a bit tricky in this or the hip, you can lift up and slip the pillow or the bolster behind that left calf muscle. The knee comes down to the ground. It's like the pillow gives some support to the pelvis. I really like this variation. And then you can fold forward, forehead to the back of hands. Let's find something that works for you. You're going to be here for 2 minutes. So really relax into this shape. Any pain into that left knee, you can always lie on your back and take a figure 4 shape. It's a nice alternative. Or another option as well is, let me shift around so you can see me. Another option as well is just pulling that right knee in a touch, taking more this deer pose 90-90 legs, and then folding forward again. Once you've found your shape, what's appropriate for you, for your body, close the eyes, drop right back into the breath pattern, the even flow, the rhythms of the body that are there, just pulsing away underneath the skin, whether you're aware of them or not. Resist the temptation to fidget, to shift or shuffle. Allow the sensation to build. Predominantly, you'll notice it around the left hip area. Maybe the front of that right hip too. Don't be completely focused on the areas of greatest sensation. Notice the more subtle parts of this shape as well. Allow for some more time, more opportunity, tension to dissipate, to melt. you're finding that you're a little tighter than usual around the hips, please know that that will not be uncommon. In times of emotional stress and strain, our bodies pick that up, our physical bodies pick that up, as well as our psychological self, emotional self, and we store it. And one of the places we love to store it is in our hips. Let's take another 3 breaths here. Last breath here. Begin to walk your hands back in towards you and just let yourself roll onto that left hip. Swing your right leg all the way around. Push your bolster out of the way. And allow your right foot to go to the top right corner of your mat, sole of left foot to the inner right thigh. Spin your chest towards the foot and square your hips a little towards that right foot as well. Take a breath in, sit tall. As you exhale, begin to fold down the length of your right leg and let your head be heavy. You might well want to grab your pillow and pop it across the right thigh. If you take it across the thigh, you can rest the elbows, the forearms on the pillow. You can even cup the forehead into the hands. It can be really nice to let your left hand rest to the outside of the right leg, and if you have an easy reach, maybe even the outside of the foot. Be comfortable here. Most of you will feel something down the back of the right leg, but also what we're looking for here is sensation from the lowest left rib to the back of the left hip. There's this band of muscle there, your QL, and we're looking for some sensation there. If you're struggling to find that, just shift the position of your rib cage a few times until you do. Then close down your eyes. Relax into the shape. You can just be heavy here. If you feel that left knee is a little painful, it doesn't like being bent in this direction, you can always slip some support under it. Again, another pillow, another blanket. You've got that blanket roll from the beginning. That can be good. Find the stillness. Practice the patience, allowing the body to just do the work for you and trust that it knows what to do. You can offer it shapes and then intuitively the breath will come, the release will begin. Be aware of the expansion, contraction of your ribs. Notice if the breath is smooth, or if you need to place some work there and smooth it out. Another 4 or 5 breaths here, depending on the length of your breath cycle. The base of the next exhale, low belly draws in. The breath in ever so carefully, one vertebra at a time. Raise your way up and out. Just pause at the top. Notice anything that comes up, any feedback from the body. Pillow on you, set it to the side. Find your way into your sleeping swan or your pigeon on the other side. Right knee is forward behind the wrist, toes to the left. Left leg long behind, toes ideally untucked. Using your props, using your pillow or your bolster if you happen to have one, and allowing it to feel really comfortable, resting chest, cheek, belly, or once more popping the bolster underneath the pelvis, under the groin to support. Sinking in, that's my favorite. Taking modifications of that left knee bending and drawing in, and your 90-90 deer pose legs instead, if that's better for you. And once you have it, just settle on into your stillness. Take any last readjustments. And now, be still in what you've chosen. Take your attention to your left big toe. Your left big toe. Allow the attention to drop into the ball of the foot. The arch of the left foot. The left heel. The Achilles. Up the back of that left calf. To the back of the knee. Continue to draw the line of awareness up the back of the left thigh, the buttock crease, the dome of the buttock, to the low back, the sacrum. Find the base of the spine. Just one by one, the awareness passes the vertebra. This bony, chain-like structure. To the mid-back. Space between the shoulder blades. To the nape of your neck. Base of the skull. Continue to travel that awareness of the back of the skull and finish at the point of the crown of the head. Perhaps you like to continue from the crown of the head to the space between the eyebrows, Ajna, third eye. Settling and quietening watching. Allowing the breath and the focus to relax the body, to soothe your nervous system. I like to think of it as just reweaving the frayed edges of our bodies back together, smoothing it out. Let's take another 2 breaths here. Keep your eyes closed, hands down to the ground as you lift the chest. Slip any support you may have to the side. Drop to your right hip as your left leg swings around. Sole of right foot to inner left thigh. Squaring your hips and your chest to your left foot. Maybe you like your pillow across the lap, over that left thigh. As you start to fold and round forward, head heavy. Again, you can cup the forehead into the palms. Your right arm might reach for the outside of the left foot. Looking for that QL, that space, that muscle band between low rib and back of right hip. And shifting and adjusting until you find that. And when you do, be still. Relax in. Be aware of the sole of your left foot. Whether you're touching it or not. Notice what you can feel through the sole of the foot. Any sensations. Happening beneath the skin. It's feet that carry us all day long. Notice this shape is a whole body shape, no focus in any one part or another. It's everything together. Full embodiment. a little longer here. A few more breaths. Last breath in. Part the lips, let it go. Low belly tones. Slowly you raise on up. Eyes can stay closed, shoulders soft. Pillows or props, shift them aside. Come on down to the back of your body. Place the soles of feet to mat, hip width apart, knees high. Press into the soles of the feet, press into the low back, into the back of the ribs. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, let the knees fall to the left. Take your arms either wide or cactus bend the elbows. Let the head roll towards the right. Take 5 breaths here. Long and deep. Feeling the movement of the belly, of the chest. Working your breath through and beyond the twist. And one more breath. Bring the knees to center, bring the gaze to center. You can keep the arms as they are. A full breath, soles of feet grounded. Exhale through the mouth. Allow your knees to drop over towards the right. Gaze can go left. Soften and relax into the shape. Any adjustments you need to make, please feel free to do so to feel comfortable. 5 breaths here. Your mind does start to wander, distractions are creeping in. Just gently draw yourself back. Honor yourself for this time, just for you. One more breath here. Gaze to center, knees to center, soles of feet down. Big breath in here.
Exhale through the mouth as the legs go long. Readjust your arms in any way you like. Perhaps you want the pillow underneath the back of your knees or the back of the feet. Shavasana. Stay in Shavasana as long as you like. Watching the imagery at play behind the eyelids. Following the rhythms within the body. Thanking each of you for your practice. Hope you enjoyed it. Namaste.